All right, welcome to the show. Let me turn that down a bit. So the presidential election is over, and what has changed? I don't know. Really? Let's discuss that. What do you think has changed? Will the border change? Do you think that'll change? I don't know. The Biden presidency was very good at flying them in. So I don't know if they really need to do cross the border runs or anything like that. Just like the Clintons flew in cocaine. They can fly in these migrants, these voters. And in leftist states, they can keep them as voters for probably the next election. So, welcome to the show. Share a screen. Hi, Andrew. Good to see you. So this is a comment show, really. I'm here to read your comments. Discuss what you think about what happened. Especially about what you think is a show and what you think isn't. I don't know. Is it at all a show? And if it is, how? Is the cheating a show? Rhesus monkeys escaped. Of course they did. Hi, Crystal Shaman. Good to see you. So, what has changed? What will change? I know some things that might change. I know some things that won't change. For me, it's the what won't change that's really important. But oh no, well, we won't be too long, Mr. Mission. It's 9 o'clock. I only got about an hour. Here, if anybody wants to come up and have a chat. Vent your frustration. Tell me what you think is going to happen. Tell me what you think is going to change. That's what we were promised from. It's all orchestrated control, allowing you to think you have control when you really don't. It is that complex, yes. But it seems a little more complex than that. There is an inner game. There's several games going on. Right? Yeah. Didn't he, though? Yeah. Damn, he saved us. Wow. You're right. You're so right. Yeah, he's a very soft hand, right? You know what it is he seems like the I don't know, he seems like the softer hand of the New World Order. I'll give you fuel, but just take this. I'll let you take this, but climate is a real problem, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Crystal? Do you think it would be better to be killed by Trump than Kamala? They're probably both on the path to killing us. But who do you think would be kinder about it? You like JRK? Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to see what these people do. Like, they are individuals. They are human beings. At least to some extent. Right? Yeah, they each have their own methods. Yeah. And that's what it seems, Crystal. You know, I really, it's a horrible thing to say, but I think Trump has a much more humane method for killing us than a lot of the other people are thinking. A slower kill. I don't know if it is. I think that the other side, the leftists, are engaged in greed and debauchery um, to an extent that's really like they've really um, they've really engaged in sabbaty and Frankism and fully given themselves over to that. I don't know. I think they're on pretty much the same timeline. Like, I think they'll off us. Well, some slower, some of the slower deaths and stuff like that, some of the longer term deaths. But I think once they get the entire kill box set up with the power to support it, hi, Life,
Good evening, sir.
they will
Hope
just
all
go
is
for
well.
wiping us out. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, good evening, sir. I hope all is well.
Yeah, it's going great. How are you enjoying the new Trumpian era? The protests have
Loving it.
already begun. The arrests have happened. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's just I woke up this morning and I could just smell the freedom and the testosterone in the air. It just was
Mm.
overwhelming. It really took me back to a nostalgic time.
Oh yeah, we're winning now, right?
I mean, it was just I don't know. It's just too quiet. It was all these other elections that I've seen. It's all this controversy. It's always something that lingers for days. But this one, it was just one quietly in the middle of the night. It just don't seem right.
What do you mean?
Like it's just
It didn't
nope.
flip, and you were
Like,
upset about that?
oh no, I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight either way, but it's just, every election cycle, there's some type of drama, I mean,
Well, there
even
has.
last,
Hi, Woo Riders. Hi, Mary. Yeah, there has been. There's been lots of cheating caught, litigation and stuff. That's exciting. They've really kept the story up.
It's just, I don't know. It just seems kind of quiet now, you know?
Well, you really have to pay attention. You haven't you seen Lefties Melting Down? That was
Oh, yeah, yeah, for
that,
sure.
that was an exciting one. I enjoyed that. You know. Hi, Crystal. Good to see you.
Hi, John. Hi, everyone.
Good evening.
So, what are your thoughts? You enjoying the show?
Oh, well, not really, but you know what? We just have to try to deal with it. I don't know, John. It's, I don't even know what to think anymore.
Well, I don't know. I give this over to the universe and God at this moment because they are human beings, and do they have to follow their agenda? I don't know. Maybe they don't. I have that one little caveat as they're human beings, and maybe they don't have to follow what they're told by the bankers. I don't know. Hi, Steve.
But are they really human? We don't even know that.
That is a good question. Okay. Well, we've done remote viewing of several, well, many politicians and people of renown in
Mm-hmm.
society. The only two that we ever found that were not negative were Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was an oddity because every time we view them, people even just don't want to view it. They close their eyes and they say, "No, I'm not doing it." With like Bill Gates or um, what was his name? There was a few other politicians, some of them that died and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
oftentimes it's horrific visions they get. Hotel rooms, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to view it. But the funny thing was, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again: the two times we've had positive viewings of people were Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And I don't know if it's because they're both Gemini, or are they both Gemini? I know Trump is.
Well, Gemini is too.
Yeah. So could he be benevolently killing us in his eyes, doing it
Well,
in a benevolent way?
well, I mean,
You
he
know,
is the one. He is the one that brought us the jabs, and then bragged about bringing us the jabs. And how many people?
careful.
How many people have been affected
Very
health
no, no,
wise?
no, 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 no. Sorry, I'll have to mute you.
Do
Health
what?
wise, in a beneficial way from getting the jabs, yes, according to the Canadian government. Otherwise, you'll get me shut down.
No, I'm talking in code.
No, you're not.
Well, I thought I was.
Nope. No, you can't talk about that at all here.
Well, that's what he brought upon
Yeah, he did
the
work,
United
right?
States.
Whatever.
So,
Yeah. So that was a great benefit for the American people and Canadian people, apparently. So, because they're still offering us. Yeah, it was safe and effective. That's what we were told, and that's what we're still being told here in Canada, and that's what we can talk about here in Canada. Nothing else about them. Um, So let's stick to that.
Yeah, I'm not in Canada, so
Yeah, I can't do that.
but in any case,
So
many
this will
people
be
were
this will be
affected.
a
Yeah.
deleted this will be a deleted broadcast.
Okay. Well,
No,
I'll just go
that's
ahead
all
and
right.
go.
No, you can stay. I don't care. Most of my broadcasts get deleted anyway. Yeah, it was safe and effective. Yeah. So what do you guys think of the Trumpian? Do you think it's a positive? I do see positives from it. Um, the last time he was in presidency, he gave us cheaper oil, which was a benefit, and that was actually a benefit to Canada.
That's definitely one aspect. I mean, you look at if fuel and oil goes up, everything else goes up along with it inevitably. You know, you got to pay to get it there or ship it there.
Yeah, what he was working on, which didn't get completed, was the Keystone Pipeline, which pumps. Well, it's not crude; it's sand oil, pretty much. Hi, Jimmy, and Angel. It's sand oil that gets purified in refineries. It's terrible stuff, but it's refinable. We've got hundreds of years worth of that stuff. Oh, Crystal, why'd you drop off?
Now, is that something that was the sand oil? Is that something that occurs naturally, or is that something that a byproduct?
Yeah, it's a natural product.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like crude kind of, but it's been bubbled up through. If you could dig down far enough, you could probably find a pure source. But all this tar sands is what they call them. They're
Gotcha.
all on the surface, right? So you can steam the sand and separate the oil from it, and then it's pretty pure, but needs much more refining than like a crude oil. But we've got a buttload of it, and it's cheap.
Well, he did become the second president in U.S. history. Well, once he's inaugurated, I guess, to serve 2 terms non-consecutively. The only other president to do that was Grover Cleveland, I believe, and he was our 22nd and 24th president.
Yeah,
Not that
there is a lot of anomalies with Trump. He is indebted to the banking system. At least it seems like he is. I don't know. I am confused by his hi Sema, getting out of the what was he dropped out of the what was it, the World Economic Forum? I forget. He dropped out of one of the NGOs. People are talking about much more, Max. You were being paranoid. She was speaking in code. Unsubscribed, Ken. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really tough on here, Sam. I'm on my second strike, so I can't even talk about those things at all, really, or I'll lose my channel.
I think some don't realize, they give us a certain standard, but then it seems like up there's definitely a certain standard plus, the Canadian standard that goes on top. So I can see what you mean.
Yeah, it's a different code up here, guys. It is totally different. Like I get strikes for shit you guys wouldn't believe. Like, yeah, yeah, they're really bad on that. You're right, Mr. Mission. That's what I have lost. That's what I'm on my second strike. four at the moment, waiting for my third. So it's much, much different up here. I can't talk about that stuff at all, unless I'm just saying it's great. You know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I do it very facetiously.
Yeah. There's no real way to talk about it in code either, because the algorithms have caught up to that.
Yeah.
So
Well, these particular codes show up here. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
So
they've
agree.
gotten, you know, come on, how hard is a 3-letter word? You know? Right? Here it is here, right? They figured that one out pretty quick.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of months, I guess, to see how it pans out until the inauguration.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I'm still thinking that they might they've been attacking black schools and black colleges. There's a lot of political rhetoric over black college funding, or the whatever they call that, the funding for black scholarships.
Like HBCUs.
Yeah, that has come up a lot recently. Hi, Termir. So they're really trying. It seems like, hi, James. Race. I don't know if they're doing. Well, they're always doing like class and culture. But if they can get race, because that was what they projected for their Civil War scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was some type of a race war starting it off. I didn't watch Obama's movie. I probably should not have. Hi, Jackie. So I didn't.
I don't even know. I guess you could say the title of the movie. I don't know. I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's something to do with Civil War. So
Yeah, I did watch that one. I don't know, just the timing and all that stuff, on the anniversary of the Civil War and the current topics, that was being talked about.
So did they, at the end of it, did they have some blonde-haired president that got shot that looked like Trump? Is that the by some
No,
black woman?
I
That was
forgot
what
who
I
was the
heard.
president in that movie.
That was what I heard. How the video ended, or the movie.
I can't remember the actor's name who portrayed the president in the movie. He's been in a couple shows, movies. It's definitely interesting. And the other one they had about leaving the world, I don't know if you saw that one.
No, I no.
Oh,
I don't watch
man.
any movies now. It's yeah, right, Mary. They want the resistance. Some way they want to gin that up. Whatever way they can work it.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Robert. Good to see you.
But I mean, here locally where I'm at, I mean, there's probably people losing their cool in their safe space in their house somewhere. I don't know nothing about it, but I hadn't seen nobody losing their cool in public or nothing like that. I think people would have lost their minds either way it would have went. It was, you kind of knew it was going to happen. You just didn't know which side it was going to happen from, maybe.
Well, I'm not sure which is going to be worse, because I do think there is a monopoly game going on in this. Right? It's not just an entirely planned thing. There seems to be a certain amount of competition. It is a game that seems to be going on. And I don't know how this is going to go. If Trump does what he says he's going to do, right, that'll give us some economic benefits. But at the end of the day, Does he repeal the Patriot Act? Hi, Andy.
I don't see that happening. Not me personally. I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. But I don't see him doing that personally.
Come on back up, Crystal, and come on up, Indy.
I think we're kind of so far into that, like the Big Brother, like surveillance aspect of it, that I really don't think that would happen.
Yeah, because that really is one of the keys, right?
It is.
We've got now. Oh, I forget what they named it. Bill C-60. Basically, it's a pre-crime bill, an online pre-crime bill, where if something you said online could, not that it does, that it could offend somebody in the future, you can be fined up to, $20,000 or 5 years in jail.
Really?
Yeah.
For a metaversal offense?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's probably going to be an industry opened up around that.
Wait, didn't we just see that happen in the over there in England recently? London?
I'm not familiar with what's going on with their laws. No, I don't know. Maybe.
I gotcha. It's like that movie. What was the movie? It's always a movie about something. Everything we talk about, you can pull a movie up. But was it Minority Report? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Prevent the situation before it happens.
Pre-crime. Hey, Indy. Good to see you.
Greetings.
Yo.
So what are your thoughts, Indy?
Well, as far as like this whole pre-crime thing, really, I think all of this is it's a psyop in itself, because there's no way you can convict somebody of something like that, at least in the way the American court system is structured. You can easily argue out of it. The problem is, just like the J6, the little thing they call an insurrection that happened, even a lot of the people arrested in that could have very easily fought their case, but it was portrayed that the court was rigged against them, which I mostly agree that it was. But where they messed up is they get scared and they plea bargain, because they get told they're going to get 50 years, or they can plea bargain down to 20, and they plea bargain. So with any of this pre-crime, thought crime, this and that, they can't prove intent. But if you plea and you're admitting an intent in some way, especially if you plead guilty to a lesser charge, it's a mind game, right? It's all. But I think they put all this out there as an intimidation tool, because, like, I've been hearing a lot about Trump talk about these anti-Semitism type laws, and technically, if somebody were to get hemmed up for that, and it got pressed enough, ultimately, even if they, just like Trump's little trials, right? They convicted him on some crap, and it was crap from the beginning, and then a simple appeal, it all gets thrown out because it was crap. The way it was handled, it kind of negated the whole process anyway, and that was obvious through those little prosecutions that they were trying to pin on him. So it's all a mind game, dude. That's my conclusion the past few days. It's just everywhere you look, it's everything. It's whether you're trying to buy something in advertising, or the religion, or just politics, or even relationships. I got friends that call me up and I hear relationship problems, and it's the same shit, dude. It's like a lot of playing mind games with each other. It's like, man, get back to the basics of being straight up honest. You know, makes things a lot easier.
Are you back up, Crystal? Come on back, hon. Ain't no problem. Hey, the realist. Good to see you.
Yo, was that Chris
Yeah, it was Crystal Shaman.
Shaman? Okay.
Don't be shy.
I will say this one thing that's kind of annoyed me today and yesterday, you know, post election,
Yeah.
is like when I go on BitChute, right, and I look at like all the latest videos. It's like every video now, it's like, oh, leftist tears and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
meltdown, and it's like, I'm like, guys, bro. That's why I say psyop. Either they're intentionally just trying to troll Trigger, because I've seen a video Candace Owens had that said, we're going to be, your liberals need to get ready for 4 years of trolling. And I'm just like, no side is good, bro. They're both doing the same thing. They're both just as despicable. I don't care what they tell themselves. And one side's righteous and the other side is this or that. Because I'm kind of having sympathy, dude. I see these people crying on TikTok over these elections, and yeah, dude, they're way. It's like mental illness, but hey, it's a psyop, dude. They've been, you know, it's picking on the vulnerable. Got people wrapped up in this shit, and
A little bit of narcissism, really, if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know,
Like if I'm going to have a meltdown over something, I'm not going to time it so I can videotape it.
Yeah.
well, I have to say, dude,
Like how, like, scripted one way or the other, like, it's scripted.
well, and some of those people are on a payroll.
No, nobody's having a natural meltdown,
Right.
and filming it on command. And if you are, what kind of mental disease do you have?
Yeah, well, it's valid.
You said it right. It's not natural. You said, it's definitely not natural. It's artificial. It really is.
Whichever way that goes, right? Whether it's, propaganda or, I don't know. But, how natural is that? I don't know.
And how natural is it that people seem to have this priority about the abortion issue? Like, this is like, it's like life or death to some people, I guess. Like, I understand women's rights, and if you're arguing it, like, there's a mature adult way to argue this stuff, but we're not getting any of that in this.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It just.
Okay, here's one question I have to myself often. Do you believe there is cheating in the election?
Oh, yeah.
And if so, why? Hi, Jojo. Why would you need to cheat if it was all scripted?
Well, because that, again, in a psyop.
I know. I get
right?
that.
Yeah. I mean, that would kind of be where the direction of my thinking would go on that. You have to,
I know,
in the
make
midst of undermining the system.
the story believable, right? No point made, Max. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, and when they're playing the long game, you got to have certain contingencies, you know.
Question.
I mean, you could ask yourself this too. Why would like the U.S. senators, right? They like to have these congressional hearings. Why would you have a hearing on any issue, bring people to the forefront, you stream this shit live for 3 hours, you asking all these tough questions, and at the end of the day, nothing gets done. You don't decide to change any laws, you don't decide to prosecute anybody. So what is that about?
Yeah, it's a weird system, right?
Right.
It's a show. It's just like
Yeah, dude.
reality TV. These people's favorite show comes on, and that's all they could talk about for the next 3 days. They don't get anything done.
Yeah.
They're calling their girlfriends, their boyfriend. Hey, did you see what happened on the episode? Just like that. You know, it's just a kind of consistent spiral of just getting you looped in, you know?
Yeah.
Dove Advanced Care.
I think it's important to talk about why it's such a show. There might be a few new people coming in. Never. But,
Oh, yeah.
you know, why it is such a show. You know? Like, I don't know what Trump's going to do for us. Because the dollar is going to crash. There's leftist riots already. You know, Antifa has been.
That's what I'm thinking the weekend.
So which way was this going to go that would have been good? That wouldn't have given them some type of a collapse.
Well, oh, yeah, to not have some type of collapse. I don't know unless, you know, Trump on his victory stage after he secured the election, or, you know, I guess some people will say, well, he's waiting until after the inauguration. But he could have went up there and gave an Eisenhower level speech and said, look, gang, they shot at me twice. You guys did what I asked you to come vote. You did. You came out. We got it done. I'm not going to let you down. Here's what's really happening, and we're going to clean it up. You know what I mean? You'd have to come clean on some level. Or you're going to have to say,
well, you can't,
you know,
the taxes, right? He came clean on the taxes. He hasn't come clean on his relationship with Epstein, though.
Right. I was going to go there a second ago and say that like, look, we got a bunch of bad dudes.
No.
Got Hillary Clinton on tape, and I said I wasn't going to lock her up, but we got her on tape now. And now that this is my last term, get ready. Of course, then you got people that'll tell you she's already been executed, and we're just looking at a body double in AI. And I'm, you know,
I wish that were true, but I haven't seen evidence of it.
we're just psyop and a psyop, dude. It's
like you can't really claim you're going to clean house if you ain't airing out a little laundry, you know? You
Yeah.
got to come clean on a few things if you really want to clean house.
You're 86 or whatever. I don't know how old he is. He can come clean.
What?
Trump, he's old enough. He's pretty much 1 foot in the grave.
That's the thing, right? We'll tell a 21-year-old soldier he needs to go die for his country, but these 80-year-old politicians, when they finally get into that spot where they apparently can do something, they still fear for their life and shit. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you wanted to lead the country. You want to save America. You already said you taking bullets and you tough. But what are you waiting on now, bro? You know what I mean? It just, you know. That's all
Ain't no
Trump did no new wars.
son.
Trump did do no new wars. That was the first.
I don't believe that. It's already lining up where it looks like he's going to
He
put
did
that Pompeo in.
targeted killings, though. He killed, what was it, Soleimani?
Yeah, and I heard from one very deep researcher who, well, what happened is at some point, I think Obama, before he left office, because they used to bag on how many drone strikes he was doing. Well, apparently he signed something where they don't officially keep track of drone strikes anymore. But according to this person who was an independent reporter type person, they said that even though there's no official numbers, Trump had more drone strikes going on than even Obama was doing. So it looks like this whole same new boss, same as the old boss type
It
shit.
does. It does. That could be
Yeah.
interpreted in several ways, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could say using drones is not a war. It's not a war because Congress didn't declare a war, which is what we've been in a long time, is these undeclared wars.
A lot less, collateral damage with drone strikes than in
Well, you know, with Obama, they said that 90% of his drone strikes.
But where's the money? Where's the money in drone strikes? Because we know war makes money.
Well, it's the technology behind all that. Then you get into these Peter Thiels and
No, where's the money? Like, where's the benefit?
Oh shoot, there'd be a huge benefit. Yeah, you may have to spend a little money on a little upkeep on a drone, but now you don't have to send in a whole airship to send in 2 battalions to go, do your job.
No, that is a benefit. That's money.
Hmm.
Sending in a battalion and people dying,
No,
and troop replacement, and
you still get the money for all those soldiers. You just don't have to send them
Yeah.
in there.
where's the money in our military having a psychological operations division? How much money does it take to
drones
pay
are not
people?
profitable. Drones are not profitable because you can't feed the military industrial complex with drones, with a few drone strikes. That's
Well,
only like, you're talking like, maybe $1 billion, 20 drone strikes, right?
I bet if you looked into drone warfare,
You look at the Ukraine war, like, we've got, what, you guys have put 100 billion in there,
no, probably more than that. Yeah.
that's
probably,
much more profitable. That is much more profitable. Sustained war is much more profitable than drone strikes. Drone strikes just cost you, right? You take out,
Okay, I got
one-
I got an answer for the money. I think
okay.
it all ends up being filtered and pilfered through the stock market. The
How?
whole time these wars are going on, all these little companies involved. You know what I mean? That's the way to do it
Oh,
over
yeah.
I
time.
don't know what you mean. Explain it as succinctly as you can.
Well, if I'm, let's just say I'm a drone. If I'm a drone company or a drone warfare, aerospace, this and that. What's Lockheed Martin, right? I got
Yeah.
a drone division. Well, my stock is going to get traded on the back of the daily news according to the war, right? I mean, the news cycle is really what drives
All
the
right.
stock market because it's all speculation from day to day, right? If there's a rumor of war, just like the Trump election, you had people voting, making strategic plays in the stock market based on who they thought was going to win. So,
Yeah. I
You
don't
know, the Dow Jones is made up of 30 different companies, and that's how they get the Dow Jones Industrial Average. But did you know, as of tomorrow, two of those 30 companies are leaving the Dow Jones?
know.
It's Intel
and now
and Dow, yeah, and they're being replaced by Sherwin-Williams and another company. I
NVIDIA.
think it starts with an N. Yeah, I might have said that already. I don't know.
I'm
Said it
smoking.
on the other screen.
I personally am kind of smoking the hopium. I think Trump is going to kill us much nicer than the Democrats would. I think it's going to happen after he's gone, though.
Could be. Hey,
I don't
See
think the systems are in place to take us out.
4 years from now, 2028. I mean,
I think what they're waiting for, and I think Trump might be part of the hold-off period, where they actually have the power systems in place and the wireless technology to infiltrate the human body and mind. They also have to convince us to eat enough nano material and stuff like that, or bypass that somehow. They
That
do
is
have
one of his
access to
things.
the human body, but only to a certain extent. They can affect you physically, somewhat mentally, but they don't have control of your mind yet. And
Those are some of his slogans. The quiet before the storm. The storm is coming. Fight, fight, fight.
I don't know if we'll see pretty quick Dragon Sage. I don't know. I think they're in a lull period. I don't think it worked out like they wanted it to. Oh, the ocean's there.
I am the storm.
Yeah, the
And I
ocean.
am.
She's been causing a storm out there.
I am. I'm also shrooming my ass off. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
What you got?
Awesome.
Woo, some shroom.
And I got shroom. What do they call it? I don't know what they call it, but they call it functional. Yes, functional mushroom coffee.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm all hopped up on 14 kinds of mushrooms, plus the hallucinogenic kind. So I'm shroomed to the gills.
So you can get the
It's really, really interesting and good right now. I really recommend it.
How are you feeling about the situation at the moment, the ocean?
I'm very hopeful. The world is bright from where I'm sitting, guys. I'm sorry about you, but this fuck looks good from here. I'm happy.
All right, that's good because we got a bunch of negative Nellies in the chat here. So yeah, we need
Sure,
some
it'll look much
some
better to you too.
positivity here. You know, I think that through determination and positivity we can take this horrible situation and
We
turn
can
it
take our
around.
chance and run with it. I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can, dude. We can do it, man. No, I've been feeling that for days. I've been feeling like, yeah, we got an opening. There's a crack in the armor. There's a crack in the, it's going to take a while for everything to sift out, but yeah, we can all we need is a little bit of daylight.
D is on
and
mushrooms, guys, just by the way.
run right for it.
But I do agree with her. I do believe with a little crack we can run with it.
No
All I
shrooms,
need is a
no
little
crack.
crack.
Don't do crack. Do shrooms.
Worked well in the 80s.
Leave the crack aside and the meth. Don't do meth or crack. No.
Please
I
don't.
don't recommend it. I do recommend shrooms.
I was going to ask that shroom coffee you got. You can get the good shrooms in that kind of coffee, or is it just
It's what they call functional mushrooms, but it's a whole fucking long list. It's like turkey tail and reishi and cordyceps and agaricum blade voodoo blase bleedy blow blah. It's like a whole bunch of things I never heard of, but it's their functional, what they call functional
I'm a
mushrooms.
big fan of turkey tail. I love turkey tail mushroom.
Turkey tail's great. Yeah, and the cordyceps.
It's like that. I guess it's like almost like, what is it? Oh, I think it's oolong tea. A kind of grayish tea.
I have to say, their functional mushroom coffee does not taste like our coffee at all, really. It doesn't bear a whole lot of resemblance to our coffee. It has a vaguely coffee-like. I have more than one brand. I have Moji Tea Coffee. Moji Tea is the brand, and then coffee. You can find it on Temu. Please use my link if you do. But I ordered it off of there because it was fairly reasonable, and I thought, with all of those freaking mushrooms in there, it's got to be worth something. So, I got the black truffle kind. Oh, the black truffle is yummy.
Oh, I love truffles.
Oh, black truffle is yummy, but it smelled like
Dirt.
first, I thought I was smelling
Dirt.
garlic.
Really? Yeah. Like,
Um,
well, it should be like dirt. Really. It should
yeah,
be like dirt.
it smelled like garlic, and they're like, "What? Why does it smell like? Is there garlic?" And
It's weird
no,
that it
but
would smell
boy,
like
the black
skunky.
truffle was good.
Like skunky.
Yeah, it's skunky,
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
something else that's good, right?
Yeah.
So, but
Never
yeah,
had
so
it smelled skunky.
skunky.
Yeah.
I know that I smell skunks around here sometimes, and I know that people are growing things. So, but we
It's a
do actually
hybrid.
have some real skunks though around here too. So, got to be careful. But loves, yeah, I would say definitely worth a try. Definitely worth a try. People have noticed a difference in me. My helper has noticed a big difference.
Nice.
And the people that watch my show have noticed that
Yeah, I make a
I'm
blend
different.
of turkey tail, chaga, and psilocybin mushrooms for a tea.
Oh, that would be
Right.
great, wouldn't it?
It's nice.
But see, if you take them
My
with the
wife loves
gummies, yeah, if you take the gummies on top of that, and I got me some gummies. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you take them, and I'm not sure what kind of, he said that the yellows were more head and the purple were more body. So I took the yellow, and so because I'm sort of a psychonaut type, and next time I'm going to take the body one.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that is. But
Yeah, let's see how it goes, eh?
But along with the other shrooms, it's like with the functional shroom, the functional shrooms are, you just notice you're so freaking awake.
Yeah, they give you really good energy.
Yeah,
much
and you have energy, and I mean, I can get through.
Yeah, my wife loves the turkey tail for that, for energy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It very energy, very very much energy, and my pain is less. I have to say, I'm not as ouching
Yeah.
as much, which is great. Like I said, my helper has noticed a big difference. I want to do every kind of thing now. I want to do all kinds of things when she's over, and she's like, "What happened to you?" What? I said, "I've been drinking this shit. You want some?" But yeah, so she's kind of thinking of trying it now too. So, but it's worth a try. I mean, hell, it's not that expensive, really. Not that expensive. So, and now that I can get like a gummy of shroom for, like $5. So, it's not out of my range.
Yeah.
And, I've had depression and stress for
I
a
am.
long time. As long as I can remember, I've had a problem with stress and depression. But I don't feel stressed or depressed right now. Not at all. I feel great.
Yeah, my wife has gotten off all of her medications, thyroid and anxiety. She's taking a mixture of mushrooms, nicotine, and
Yes, I'm
CBD.
going to try the nicotine too. The NAD. Yeah, I'm going to try
Yeah.
that. I'm going to get some of that too, because
Okay,
I've heard
let
good
me tell
things
you
about
something
that.
really interesting. Her hair has started to change color.
Mine has
It's getting
too.
darker. Yeah.
Mine has stopped getting white coming,
Yeah.
and it's more blonde. It's more light blonde coming in.
Yep. Yeah.
And
It's
so
getting dark. She had dark hair when she was before she was 12. Her hair turned gray early. I imagine because of stress, but I think that because of the stress relieving products in the mushrooms, nicotine, and CBD, her body's operating on a normal level. You know.
well, I think a lot of our problems are stress, and I think that's completely by design.
Yeah.
I think that is entirely
Yeah.
what the intent is to stress
I
us
learned
out
at a
so
very
much
young
our
age that
bodies don't work right.
stress is a killer.
It is.
Yeah. It is a
It
killer.
puts you into fight or flight.
Yeah.
And when you're in fight and flight, you do
Yeah.
not work right. Nothing works
Yeah,
right.
I took a job on nights. It was a job I didn't like. It was very stressful. It was very fast paced, and on nights. And
Hmm.
I found it stressful. And in
Hmm.
2 weeks, my hair on the sides of my head started turning gray. So I
Yeah.
stopped that job. I quit, found a different job. And yeah, that reversed. Hi, Mary.
Mhm. Yeah, you can actually reverse that stuff. You don't
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, it
I
can go away.
totally believe you can reverse aging. Totally believe it. And I totally believe that you can halt it. You can reverse it. Absolutely 100%. And I will go
Mm.
even further. I have not believed that we need even to die necessarily to get out of here.
I'm not there yet, but I think we can extend our lives out quite a lot.
I've believed it for a long, long time. I have always had this feeling, this idea we don't really have to die. That's got to be a lie too,
I would want
because
to eventually die because I would want to restart. I
but
want to.
see, you could do that by willing yourself.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to then just leave it to some kind of accident or whatever.
No, the accident is kind of what you want. It's like rolling
You
the.
could just say, "Okay, I'm leaving, you guys. I'll see you
Well, how
later.
many
Bye."
times have you done this? I've done it thousands.
What?
So this existence, I've
Oh,
done
a
it
lot of
thousands.
times, but I want to be able
So
to
I
pick.
like roll. I like rolling the dice.
Oh, okay.
I'm into rolling the dice.
Okay. I want to be able to choose. I want to be able to pick it
You've
out.
done that. You probably did that already.
Yeah, that's probably why I know I can do it. That's
Yeah.
probably why I'm not that worried about it.
No,
Because I
it's
know I
not a
can probably
worry.
do that.
It's not really a worry at all.
Well, you know what, David? He liked the idea that he had a shelf life.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
he
exciting
liked
that
it.
way. It makes it more fun.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. And I said, well, as long as you get everything done
Mm.
by the time you expire, then you sure, why not? Right.
Well, you might not.
That's what
You
you
might
want.
not, and that's the gamble, right? You might not.
I think he got
That's what makes it fun,
he
and
got
you
most of it.
have to have challenges, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? So an important part of
I came here for with a mission, so I guess I'm
well,
different.
yeah, I came here with a mission as well.
Yeah, I came here with a mission. So,
Now there's winning and
and
losing
I'll
on
leave
different
when my
levels.
mission is over. Huh?
There's winning and losing on different levels as well.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think probably once my mission is over, I will probably leave.
Oh,
Uh,
I know you're doing your mission right now.
oh yeah,
You're
I
engaged.
am.
You're engaged in the fight, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But there are personal missions that we may or may not complete, and we
that's
may
true.
come back and do those again.
Yeah, that's true. I think that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some things that we probably have decided. I mean, I know had so damn much happen because I wanted to get it through in this life. I wanted to clear up the karma and do all of that and get it over with
Yeah,
so that I could
we do
just
that so
enjoy it.
often, though.
What?
We do that so often.
Well, yeah, I wanted to get it out of the way so I could just do what I wanted to do then.
Yeah.
And have it. I want a vacation soon. I want just a nice life so that I can just enjoy it, one that's just enjoyable, a vacation. Because
Bah.
I've had a lot of really rough ones.
Yeah.
So, where I've been burned at the stake and shit, it's
Oh yeah.
it's
The ending of them sometimes really sucks.
really
But
grueling. I mean,
the impact you make with them is exciting.
true. I just, like I said, I think I'm up for a vacation pretty soon. One of these lives, I'm up for a vacation.
Well,
So,
take 5 seconds in the ether. That'll be a million years if you want it to be. And
well, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's going to take anything away.
No. No.
So,
That would be 5 seconds in the ether if you took a million years of
mhm.
vacation time. You could even have it be negative time if you want. You could come back
Probably.
earlier and already have had your vacation.
Well, I don't know, though. I think I'd kind of miss out on that.
I enjoyed that vacation that I had in the future.
Yeah, I enjoyed that
I
vacation
really enjoyed that.
that I haven't taken yet. I know I enjoyed
Yeah.
it, though.
Oh, fuck yeah. It was great.
It was
All
great.
the people you met, the things you did. Fuck,
Yeah,
it was awesome.
that I'm going to meet. I don't know. Maybe I'm about to do that. I just keep getting these readings that, my life is going to change in a big way and I'm going to be going places and doing things. And I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe I'm
Traveling
going to
to
do
new land,
exactly that.
killing interesting and different people.
Killing interesting different people. You mean all the people I killed before?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, we've done that a few times.
Well, sure, we've done everything. And I know I have a warrior type.
Yeah.
In me. I do have and people know that, and I know that. It's like, that's why I've got Aries rising, is because that's the warrior energy there.
Mhm.
I'm
That's
Aries
the
rising.
passion. That's the
I believe in
warrior.
I believe in a fractional universe. So, we all come from the creator and we've all been, well, at least some of the gods, that we talk about on Earth, they were beings like us, but they were
Mm-hmm.
greater, bigger, and
Well, they didn't have their DNA fused
yeah,
or confused.
confused, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Too much interbreeding and inbreeding and other stuff. Yeah.
And then people fusing two of our chromosomes together.
Yeah. Well, we started off from a fucked up situation with dragons and mammalians
Yeah.
interbreeding, pretty much.
Chimeric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Messed up beginning.
But it's like, I think we've done okay, really, considering all that's been done to us. I mean, all of the experiments that have been run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did bring up the what do you call it? The petri dish theory. Is that Earth is really a large petri dish.
In
one
many ways, yes. Sky mated with Earth, so they drop some stuff,
They drop some stuff. But what I'm saying this was, it's somebody else's stream, but I'm saying that because the petri dish gets cleansed every so often on a fairly regular basis. And it's almost as if somebody said, hey, that's perfect.
Yeah,
because,
every 600 years or so.
Yeah, it gets reset, it gets wiped out, and then they can start something else.
Different timelines, but, people believe in different timelines, but yeah, it does
So
seem
it gets sterilized every now and then on the surface. And probably the real stuff is on the inside. If there is a hollow earth, then probably that's where the more permanent stuff is.
That's the safer place. Yeah.
Yeah, but the temporary stuff, the stuff where they're running the experiments, probably up here. Probably here.
That would make sense.
Because it would get sterilized every now and then, they could start over again. That's like, oh, this is handy, right? So yeah, I wonder about that.
Well, you remember you've viewed major cataclysms, and you've noticed that there was always an outside influence.
Mm-hmm.
Either
it's very easy
watching or magnifying it, whatever.
Oh yeah, it would be very easy for, if you're on the surface, would be much more easy to affect you than if you were on the interior of a planet.
Yeah.
Somehow.
The only thing we would need is vitamin D. That's it.
Yeah.
And we could live entirely on the inside of the planet. without sunshine.
Well, supposedly there is an artificial sun in there.
Yep.
So, and if they have an artificial sun, then they're
We've
set.
seen that in one viewing. In most of them, we don't see that. Like we see light sources, but most of them
Yeah.
are like kind of like a canopy more.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too, actually.
the central core probably, like, there's probably different environments.
Probably.
We've seen different ones.
Yeah. I have too. Yeah. Some of them look like, very high mountains, and some of it looks like just kind of farmland almost. And yeah, some of them.
Yeah, but
some
the
of it's
lighting
kind of
source can be
jungle.
different. The lighting source can be much different depending on where you are.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
And then we're told that the lighting can come from consciousness. That you can create light from consciousness.
Yeah, the human mind itself.
So
It is a light. There is light in your head.
supposedly we can shine light when we are doing these remote views.
Yeah.
That we
Maybe.
show up. We can turn on our light and actually cause
There's
ourselves to be seen.
piezoelectric, chromatic, and
Mhm.
these concussions between particles cause light.
Speaking of
That's why
concussions,
Noah was said to have light shining from his eyes.
mhm.
Pineal, I guess, was so open and active that he was viewing the universe through his pineal instead of his eyes.
So that would not really surprise me if that was actually true. That somehow they could see without it really needing an external light source. And perhaps we can too. I mean,
Yeah,
when we
human
do
beings
remote views,
probably
we don't need a light source.
No, you don't. You can map out in your head and practice closing your eyes, turning off all the lights, and walking around your house.
You can. Mhm.
Whenever you
And
have like a
learning
good
to
idea, they say, "What do you have? You had a bright idea.
and
What shines
That's right.
bright? A light." They
That's
always
right.
show when the cartoons or whatever's thinking, what comes up above in the little cloud above their head.
if you
Yep.
put like large water sources, like jugs of water around, and
Mhm.
electrical sources, you might be able to see those with your third eye.
Really?
Yes.
Because I have that. I have a water tower.
So yeah, a large jug of water, something, an electrical source.
Mhm.
Try to sense the plugs that you have active, like have a device in the plug that's actually doing something,
Mhm.
lighting up, making a motion, something. And
Well, I
see,
have a charger cord that has the chasing lights in it.
sure, yeah, that's expelling energy, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, what you're looking for is different energies and being able to sense those.
Hmm. Oh, that's cool because really, I was thinking about it. I was thinking when we do remote viewing, we don't have to take a flashlight. We can see without any
Mhm.
external light source. Without, and so how are we seeing?
It's
We're
because
seeing,
crystals, when they bump together, they create light.
yeah. So yeah, maybe these people, maybe when we're, um, maybe when we get all of our functioning back, maybe we won't really need to have any external light sources, unless we want them for ambiance or
You wouldn't need
something.
any communication either.
No,
There would be no need for any.
because there would be telepathy, there would be mind speak.
Yeah, you would sense what everybody was feeling.
Yeah. So there would be a lot less need for any kind of Oh, wow. And it would be just what capitalism doesn't need.
No,
A
they wouldn't want
society that
that's a
doesn't need anything.
that's a horror show to capitalism.
Yeah.
It's
A
a horror
society that
show
needs
to
nothing.
any type of brutalization or well, basically any molestation of any sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you gonna threaten them?
How are you going to molest somebody and have that not be in the ether and have
Yeah.
other people
How are you gonna hide shit?
realize it's happening? You can't hide it.
Yeah, you can't hide anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be terrifying.
Yeah.
Ooh, terrifying to the deep state. Can you imagine the way they are so secretive about everything? To have everything have to be out in the open, everybody knows everything, can know anything at all, and you can't do one damn thing about it.
Do you know why?
Wow, that has got to be
The age of
terrifying.
Aquarius is the age of knowing.
Yeah. I'm looking
Now,
forward to this. I
yeah.
think we're going to start by knowing a lot. I mean, we've
Well,
got Pluto getting ready to go into Aquarius. That's going to make a huge difference,
now,
let me tell you.
I don't know if we're in the age of Aquarius or not. Some people are telling me that it's going to be another 400 years.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure on that.
I
Is Paula here? No, she's not.
I don't know if I'll be around in 400 years. Maybe.
don't know. Depends on whether or not I get done yet. If I get done with what I'm doing, maybe I won't be. Maybe I'll be somewhere else. I don't know.
Give
Yeah.
me some time to see the world.
In any case, the age of Aquarius that they foretold in the 60s by songs and
Hmm.
all that shit, that was coming. Now,
This is the dawning.
is the age of knowing. So, is it the age of knowing? I hope so. And I don't know. I see signs of it.
What
Yeah,
do they call
I
it? They
think
say we're
so.
in the information age.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Well,
am seeing
but
signs of it.
knowing what? That's a good question. What
Yeah.
will we know?
There may be layers.
Will we know the truth? I don't
There
know.
may be layers of knowledge. I think there probably are layers of knowledge.
I
Like,
was hoping that it would be the knowing of the difference between truth and lies.
I
But
think that's
the
coming.
more I think about it, the more permutations it comes up with. Knowing what is projected to you, instead of knowing what is true.
Yeah. Well, I think that's coming. I really do. Let me tell you something interesting that I had a thought of about Gen Z, okay? Gen Z has grown up being lied to their whole life,
Yeah, they
okay?
don't like it. They don't like
And
it.
they have had to discern their whole lives. They know they've been lied to. They're not very trusting, and they're going to pick everything apart. They're going to be very sus of everything. And this is going to be good because they are not going to be trusting like, past generations that everybody has your best, the best intentions. They're going to be expecting that people might not have the best intentions, and they're going to check it all out. And I think through that develop a sort of discernment ability. I think they're going to start evolving the discernment that we need to have. But I think you can do that on an individual basis too. But I think they're going to be the generation that's going to be discerning.
I think
So,
it happens on an energetic level, and I don't think it
yeah.
matters what generation you are.
Hmm. Well, I mean,
Actually, what it seems like really is that the older generations are affected by it more quickly or
well,
early.
well,
Right?
we have had to learn. Okay, though we've had to learn not to trust. There are people for that we're trusting, still trusting
And
government.
I don't think that they would have made it to where they are without us not trusting what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, I might go with that. Yeah, I could sort of see that.
Because the sheeple element is really powerful, and
Yeah.
that is what they're relying on. Really,
Mhm.
is the sheeple element.
See, you wouldn't have been able to convince my mother that the government was
No,
corrupt.
you could not have
You
convinced
would
my father.
never have been able to do that.
Nope, nope, nope. My father was born in the 1930s, and no,
Yeah.
no way.
Mhm.
You know, government will never do you wrong.
No.
And everything the government does is correct and for a purpose,
Yeah, my dad was
whether
also
it seems
too.
wrong to you or not. No
Mhm.
matter how many people they're killing, they
That's
are
what I'm
doing
saying.
it for a good purpose.
And then my generation, started to question.
Yeah,
We started to question,
yeah. Me and my
and they
father had
didn't
a
like it.
huge argument over the 6 Day War of Israel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Yeah. Of course, Vietnam was my time. And we questioned Vietnam very heavily and other things too that were going on. A lot of things were going on there that we started questioning. So we really started questioning my generation right here. Now, like I said, Gen Z has never been able to trust anybody ever. And a lot of times trauma will bring out your gifts. Okay. Your
Yeah,
hidden gifts. So
yeah.
that's why I'm saying Gen Z might be the ones that really bring out the gift of discernment because they would have to. It might be like if it's a trauma based thing that comes out, they might be the ones.
I don't think it's a trauma-based thing. It's more than that. Trauma could be involved for sure, but I think
Yeah,
it's much more than that because it's an age thing.
because there's a lot of
So
yeah, I'm sure
it
there's a
will
way
happen in
more.
so many different ways,
I'm
because
sure
it
there's way
is,
more to it than just anything simple, but
yeah, because it is an age thing, right? So awareness is going to be the prevalent thing of the age, but how it comes about and what form
What
it takes.
what is the antidote to for discernment? Like what is what is the enemy of discernment in a person? What would you say?
Training.
Programming. That was my
programming. Yeah,
yeah. So once people drop
I would
whatever
go for that. Yeah,
programmings,
programming.
yeah, then I think the discernment naturally presents itself once people let go of programs.
Hmm.
We
I
all,
said I
yep.
said something in my. I did a video today. I did a short video, not a live, just a video, and I said something like that. Really, I accidentally, when I was trying to say, well, my pronouns, you're not respecting my pronouns. I said, you're not respecting my programs. And then I saw it. I said, whoa, programs. My subconscious just handed me that one
Right, Trey.
because they are programs. The whole thing that they're doing now with the pronoun thing is a program.
Yeah,
And we have all these programs running.
language is a program.
Yeah. And our language is programmed for a specific
Mhm.
result and way of thinking to make us think a specific way. There was a guy that was translating Chinese, ancient Chinese, and he realized when he was translating, he said, this whole language is designed to make you think in a very particular way that
English,
would put you in a box.
English. Why they try to get us to speak in specific terms is because English is an angelic language. It speaks into existence.
Angelo, yeah, Angelo, Angelo, Angelo. Yeah.
We speak into existence what they program us to speak.
Well, see, that's what I've been trying to say, John,
Yeah.
is people
At
start to
least
get
they try
really,
to. We are immune to the programming, so we don't follow the programming. I've seen programming in different ways. Um, it's amazing.
I think it's a cognitive thing there where like we talk about some people get butthurt if you use certain words, right? And you're like if you
yeah.
say understand, they always want to jump in with the fucking spiel about
Understand.
yeah,
What are you
but
standing under?
if you're aware cognitively in your own mind that you can use words and you're not being quote programmed, that's all such subtle shit. It's like watching the news, right? Like we all could watch the news on TV and we can take in what they're telling us, but we're not buying it like right off the bat. Whereas some people
Right.
watch that shit and it just goes right in and they
Mm-hmm.
just assume it's real.
Yeah.
So they just that
Mhm.
little bit of awareness is a defense mechanism too for fighting off the programming aspect of that shit.
They've got triggers too, like round earth, flat earth. You know, those are trigger points for people. Um, just like they're trying to gin up the black hatred right now. Um,
Hey, I would say I think I I believe that beliefs of any type, unless you're really cognizant of how you hold those beliefs, I think because they are programming, I think that's what gets a lot of people. When you have a strong belief about something, like flat around Earth is a good example because, yeah, we can have a strong opinion and we can even base it on evidence. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, at the end of the day, you have to admit on some level, hey, I really don't know because I'm not able to, go high enough to see it for myself. So the belief
but
thing
what
is
they've done with something like that and many other things is they've made it a point of hatred.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And so, really, I don't hate anybody who thinks the earth is flat. I don't hate anybody who thinks it's a. I don't hate you even if you think that it's a rainbow shitting unicorn. I don't care. I've said that before. Maybe you think that the earth is shaped like a unicorn shitting rainbows. But, it doesn't. If it's a matrix, I have said this before, if it's a matrix, doesn't matter anyway. You could change it with a few lines of code.
Well,
Which
what is the matrix? What is the difference between the matrix and reality? There really is no difference.
Well, the Matrix is what we perceive as reality.
If you believe it's programmed, then it's programmed to be what it is.
There are people who think we're going to wake up in a pod somewhere,
That'd be
sleep
Yeah, I
in a
don't go
pod.
that far with it.
And
When I use
can't
the
say
term
that's wrong, but
no. I don't know. I don't know. I might be.
I can't say it's wrong. I can't say it's right. I can't prove it right now. There
Yeah.
are people who say they've done the psychonaut thing and far enough to know that there is more, and I think there probably is more. But I mean, and when you die, you go somewhere.
Yeah.
That's a lot more permanent than here. So yeah, I
Well,
kind of
it's,
believe
yeah.
you. But
Well,
are we in a pod? I don't think so.
I don't know. It's more permanent, but it's much more informative if you want it to be. But I don't know. I never cared about that at that point.
Well, nobody does. I mean,
No.
do you know what though? I keep meeting dead people who are very busy
Yeah.
with their existences on the other side. They're very busy.
Really?
Yes, very
How?
busy with their existence on the other side.
How?
They're doing shit.
Okay.
I've actually traveled there. I've actually seen them doing
Are
shit.
they interacting with the living?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
In some cases they are. In some cases they're just doing shit over there.
Hmm.
Like I saw Milky Way. What is his name? Brian.
Well, you could do energy gathering.
Well, I talked to Brian.
I'm
He
trying to
was
think of
over
what you
there.
can do on the other side because you can have access to all information. Um, past lives, present
You,
lives, whatever. Like all information is available
you can do
to
whatever
you
you can imagine.
when you're dead. You know,
Mhm.
this okay. When you're dead, guys, you have all knowledge, which makes the importance of coming and living again because you don't have all knowledge here. And it's exciting. Do you understand that? It's exciting to be here. It's fun.
Well, it's exciting to be there too, though, and
Well,
they make it
no,
exciting. Let's put
I
it that
don't.
way.
I never found it exciting there at all. Like
Milky Way, Brian
unless,
sure found it exciting. He was
unless you're engaged with the living, that's the only way it becomes exciting.
well. That would make sense then, because he was. We were having a conversation.
Yeah,
He was driving a race car. He was fully geared up in a
yeah.
racing outfit, driving a race car, having a wonderful time.
Hmm.
And at first, I was trying to figure out what I was looking at. Is that a spacesuit or what the heck it was it? And then he puts up the visor, and it's him. And I'm saying, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm fine. Don't worry about me." Tell him, "Don't worry about me." In fact, just tell him, "Don't worry. Just don't worry."
Yeah, we remote viewed one person that we knew was dead, that died during my time online broadcasting. It was Brian. You know
Milky Way,
Robert. You
Brian.
know Robert from Milky Way Soul Tribe. Well, Milky Way was who we viewed.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I just mentioned that. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. That's what I saw
yeah. He,
when we did that. Yeah.
yeah. You were there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. That's the
I could.
incident exactly.
My wife was there for that. She listened to it
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
we
talked to
get
him. He was
we get to do what we want to do. That's not a challenge.
fine. Hmm.
The challenge is coming back, and that
Hmm.
was the problem he
David,
had here. That it was painful here, and it
they,
was made too painful.
they um they are seen quite often gathering together in groups. They have groups that they belong to, obviously.
Yeah,
People have frequently seen, for instance, Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, and Prince together. Okay.
yeah,
Those three hang out together a lot, quite often.
that would
Okay.
be
And they're seen together. And probably for obvious reasons, they have a lot of shared, experience, I suppose, but, life experience type thing. But they're probably in the same soul group, is what I'm thinking.
fun.
And yeah, when I see David, a lot of times I also see Prince hanging around. And I see Freddie Mercury hanging around. And for a while, I saw them together all the time. And I did have people coming in and saying, uh, it was Alfred Hitchcock that explained it to me. Because I was surprised and shocked when Alfred Hitchcock showed up. I'm like, what the heck? Why are you here? Oh, well, you see, on the other side, I find that the dead are quite lively. And
Mm.
we're having a fan appreciation activity where we're coming to our fans, all of them that can see us, and thanking them for their support in our life.
I'm beloved.
And and I'm there going, oh, well, yes, I did. And really appreciate your work. I mean, you did excellent work when you were here. And he said, that's why I'm here. He was just actually seeing him smiling was kind of weird. And so, I mean, he explained it, and I'm like, oh, so they're having some kind of appreciation situation where that's why I was seeing so many of them that just were coming to show up and say hi and say thanks for being a great fan, thanks for your support when I was alive. And it's like, okay, then that's what it is. But yeah, they still do stuff. It's like, I guess there are levels where you lose your individuality at some point, but
Well, no, because there's people like Paula who is intent on becoming a banshee.
okay.
That is her intent.
Well,
I am sure that she will accomplish it.
I'm pretty sure that it can
wishes-
happen. Yes, I'm pretty sure
She
it's
wishes
doable.
to become a banshee, and she is
Yeah.
going.
If anybody could, I would think it would be her.
She is going to haunt these motherfuckers until they're
Gonna
gone.
hunt. Why not?
I tell you, all it takes is knowing, right?
Mhm.
Hey, if that was the way to do it, if that's the way that works, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Fucking right. Every one of it, if every one of us that they took out was turned into a banshee, how long would this shit last?
Well, I can be really creative. I have sometimes had the mental, it's just a mental exercise of how annoying could I be if I were haunting somebody? What annoying things could I do?
Man.
So yeah, I have done that mental process. Yeah.
Our life or our existence as we're experiencing it now, just in this period of time, doesn't have to end when you end. You can drag it on for a little while,
Well, yeah.
have some fun with it. As long as you're having fun with it.
Why not? Why not? Because I mean,
yeah.
Your body is it's a vehicle. It's a interface.
It's a beautiful, lovely.
The way to interface. Yeah. Well, it's like a car, right? Yeah. It's like a nice car or a nice home or whatever you want to think of it. It's a nice thing with which you interface this realm, and which is why you want to keep it nice, right? You don't want people to put scratches all over it and beat it up, and
you don't want to do it.
You don't want to put bad fuel. Yeah.
Don't get tattoos, guys. They're not good for you. Okay, they're just not.
You think the ink stinks, huh?
No, I think it drains on your immune system over time.
Well, it could be that you have something caught in your skin. Well, maybe. I guess it would depend on what's in the.
It's gonna constantly require stem cells, which could be going to better places.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Why would it require stem cells? Please explain.
Because stem cells are required to replace cells in every part of your body.
Yes.
That's how they start. They start out as stem cells. So if you're requiring more to replace things that you've injected into your body, you don't have as many to replace heart cells, brain cells, liver, kidney, and other cells.
Why would you need to replace the ink? The ink is just there.
No, you need to replace the cells.
Yeah, well, you'd be replacing them anyway, wouldn't you?
Well, they start off as stem cells.
The
So,
only thing I can see is maybe. Well,
okay.
don't you have all kinds of damage though to your body?
Indy, can you explain that?
Yeah, I don't understand how
Only
it
the only
would make
thing
a
I was
difference.
thinking is if you tattooed yourself, you have you inject the ink into those cells.
Yeah.
Is that sending a damage response to your body constantly? So would you be using up stem cells? Would it be treating it as damage unnecessarily? Right.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's the only thing I can think of.
I would think that at some point, it would just be an inert thing in your body. One more inert thing. My mom got something in her knee that she had a blue knee for, spot in her knee from when she fell down and got cinders in it and gave herself an accidental tattoo. Uh, but she didn't have any more problem with that knee than anything else. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'd have to look into that. Do tattooed people live longer or shorter lives? Is there any correlation to that? Because there are some people that are tattooed practically head to toe, then their lives should be much shorter, shouldn't they?
Well, no, not necessarily. When I was younger, um, I sat down one day with a really sharpened pencil in my pocket.
I
Hmm.
was just thinking the
Something
same thing, Max.
you never do, right? And that lead went right into my stomach.
I had the same
Hmm.
thing happen, bro. I was just thinking that before you said it, bro. No shit.
Stayed there for about 40 years.
Yeah, dude. That was exactly. I just looked
Well,
at it. I just looked at it to see if I could find any mark, but no, you're right, bro.
And at about 40 years, I was sitting there at my friend's house, and that damn thing, there was a little hole looking thing in my stomach. And I said, "What the hell is that?" And I squished it, and a lead of a pencil came out of my stomach.
finally. Whoa.
So, how long was my body and how much energy did it expend to try to get
To
that thing
spell
out
that.
of me?
I don't know.
Eventually, after 40 years, it eventually said, "Yep, we're good," and poop, out it came. You know, so you're sitting there and you're putting lead and other metals into your body. On
Oh,
a
I sure
large
as hell wouldn't want lead in my body in
well,
any way.
okay, metals, anyways, because most colors of tattoos are
Or
metal.
mineral. Well,
Are
they can
metal.
be mineral based.
Yeah, yeah, some reds mostly. Um,
Red can even be insect based. Cockmeal.
yeah, yeah, but really they use minerals for tattoos.
Yeah, I would think minerals mostly.
Yeah, minerals and metals, because they
Hmm.
reduce the oxygen and create the colors. So, but anyway, yeah. So you get a tattoo, and basically your body spends the rest of your life trying to expel that.
Hmm. Well, they do get lighter in time.
Well, yeah, because your body doesn't want it.
Hmm. So, yeah, it could
Yeah, I
be.
think there has to be some truth to that. It definitely doesn't seem like it'd be something with no consequences. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I would think there'd be some kind of consequence. I'm not sure what it would be, but yeah, there probably is a consequence of some sort. Because
It's
there
a
is to all
small,
kinds of
small
things. But
drain on the immune system, really, is what it is. It'll draw a small amount of stem cells away from, cellular repair and other things like that. You know,
hmm
regeneration.
well, I would get one for magical purposes. but not for other purposes, not just to look at. I would get one for magical purposes, like as some kind of a magical glyph or something for some purpose, like protection or something. I was thinking of getting a flower of life over my navel for a while.
There is the Vedic practice of putting a dot on the forehead.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if, just postulation, if putting a tattoo or a permanent color there might have an effect on the third eye.
I don't know, but it could. Because you see, color and the minerals and the shape of the lines are all vibrations. And so it actually might have an effect of some sort that is not understood. It would be only on a subtle level. It would be understood only on a subtle level. And like I said, I was thinking of getting a flower of life as a protection symbol because I was having so much. It seems like I was getting attacked on my second chakra a lot. So, and a lot of people are actually complaining of that too, that they feel attacked there, like they've been gut punched, So that's why I was considering having one there, is to protect that area energetically. But as far as just having a decoration, I don't think I'd be necessarily interested in that. So, yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Because, well, and another thing it does is makes you more identifiable in a lineup, right?
Certainly does.
Yeah.
So, if you ever want to, be anonymous, it would make it much harder to be anonymous. So, yes, they now identify people. They do identify people by tattoo. They have identified murderers by tattoos, and they've identified corpses by tattoos. So, yeah, I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff to that. How about people who tattoo their eyeballs? I'm still trying to figure that one out. They have to tattoo the sclera, and you risk blindness. I do not understand that. Why would you do that?
Well, I asked the same thing about people who like to stretch out their earlobes and shit. Put them big hoops in their ears, and I don't get that either.
Well, I knew a guy who did that, and I mean, he had an earlobe that was so long he could actually walk through his earlobe.
Yeah,
No kidding. He could put his whole body through his
I'm
earlobe.
not into that at all. I think this is
I'm
disgusting.
like, well, it's a good parlor trick, but
Yeah.
kind of a showstopper, right? But I don't know why you would want that other than that. No, I can't see that. And I can't see tattooing the sclera in your eyes and maybe going blind just to have very weird colored eyes. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a good trade-off. I mean, going blind, having funny colored eyes make people wonder about you. But I know one guy that was getting himself, I think part of the reason he was doing it seemed like he wanted to be thought of as crazy so that he could stop working, collect unemployment and then Social Security, and then use that money to go and start a different life.
Well,
And actually, it was so he could stop working, in his words, stop working and start making money.
Nice.
So he kind of disabled himself in that regard. And then there are people who tattoo themselves because there's something about the sensation of it, though it is painful, that they crave. And
Yeah,
this guy is also
there's
one
a
of
lot of
those.
people that are addicted to it.
Hmm It's
Yeah.
an addictive thing to some people. Like you can be addicted to anything. You can be addicted to Diet Coke,
Yeah,
and that is a pretty horrible one.
yeah.
So
One of the worst, actually. You know.
yeah, that can kill you. It definitely gives you. Oh gosh, you guys are looking at my tree. You're not even seeing anything. I thought I had that turned off. Sorry. You want me to turn the camera on something that you can look at and be kind of interesting to look at? Hello. Hi there.
Mhm.
I'm kind of leaning back, just chilling, and here's my.
Well, it kind of looked like a bunch of greenery. I was okay with it.
Okay. As long as you're enjoying it, it's fine. Maybe I'll turn it that way so you can see my cool my cool wall art there.
Hi, Paula D. What's your opinion on the Trump win? Is it a benefit or a detriment? What do you think's going to happen? What
Okay,
now?
you didn't even let me answer
look-
that, but
What
I
now?
will.
You know, we have about another 7 to 10 minutes. I'm going to drag it out maybe a little longer, but yeah, I've got to get to bed pretty soon.
I know I'm feeling okay about everything, but then again, I'm Sherman.
How are you feeling, Indy?
Um,
Do you feel a positive vibe?
no, it ain't positive. I think I'm indifferent.
Do you
Oh,
think?
well, that's
Do
good.
you,
I'm unimpressed, and
do you think it's a delusional vibe?
what's that?
A delusional vibe.
Delusional lie.
A
Dude,
delusional vibe. Do you think people are high off of a delusion?
oh, yeah, I think right now, but I get it. I don't, you know, I I'm allowing all the craziness to play out right now because this is what happens every time. We get our hopes up, and then
Mhm.
we'll see. But as time goes on, I'm just telling
Mhm.
what I've seen. They build you up and they let you fucking down every fucking time. So
Mhm.
people are expecting different. Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
If there's a
I'm
difference,
not,
we'll
I'm
have to
not
make it.
ready to crush it myself. Like, I'm saying, let's see what happens because there were a lot of good things that happened, but there were a lot of negative things that happened behind the scenes that people didn't really pay attention to because it wasn't important to them. It wasn't about their money,
Hmm
right,
right?
hmm But when you hit people in the breadbasket, it kind of that it's noticeable.
Well,
Mm.
my
I
my focus recently has been on the wireless network for a
Mhm.
specific reason. Um, and I really have to vet this, and I am trying to, that they have the capability of dropping you in the street right now,
hmm Yeah.
just dead, like a cockroach.
Well, as
well,
unpalatable as that is, I guess the gods could always do that from wherever they are. So I guess we always live in this uncertainty. A car could come by and hit you too.
This is a little different, you know. We saw those pictures from Wuhan, from the beginning of Wuhan, where we saw a man drop in the street.
the Wuhan wiggle, I think they call that.
Yeah.
Uh,
You just
Oh, I remember now what you're
can't
talking
breathe.
about.
You just can't breathe. You fall down and you die.
Yeah, I remember that now.
It's less than 10 seconds.
Oh, if you got to go, I mean, could be worse ways to go.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, these motherfuckers want to take me out, and I don't know what the fuck they're waiting on, really.
That is my concern. That is what Trump is probably going to give us.
Why? I don't think so.
I'll tell you my concern with
because
him.
he signed into being the 5G wireless body area network.
All you got to do is look at the Bible and or Jewish prophecy and all this horse shit, and it all fucking lines up in a certain storyline that we seem to be living right in the middle of. So that's why I'm fucking black pilled. I'm like,
Do you know
I've
what?
seen too much of.
Hold on. Give me a second. Let me.
Like, it is hard to imagine. Like, what is the motive for a bad outcome? Who would do that? But then you listen to these motherfuckers talk about being chosen people amongst others who are this or that, or it's like, oh fuck, I'm in the midst of whack jobs and nobody's calling it out. And you look at both sides, and you got the victims looking at the fucking oppressors, going, "Yeah, they are the chosen ones. I am a wretch." And it's like, oh well, I mean, what fucking hope do we have now? Right?
I have hope because I feel that I'm a divine creator. And that whatever their timeline plans are, they don't necessarily apply to me. I can watch this play out with other people. It doesn't necessarily have to play out on me.
Yeah.
Because I am now the observer. I am not the participator in these plans.
I don't know if that's not true. And I'm saying I believe what you say. I believe we can separate ourselves from this reality.
Yeah.
I do believe that. But, if we want to engage in the fight, we have to engage in this reality. And that's unfortunate because it is very base. It is very guttural. It's very brutal.
It's not so much of a fight now that I'm engaged in as much as re-education.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. I'm more of an educational person now. I'm like, I
would say you've always been, but sure.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, I think I probably have been. But what I mean by that is my life as an example, how much I've changed myself and my circumstances. And of course, I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm going to be, maybe. Or maybe I wouldn't even like that. I don't know. What I'm really going for is to be happy and prosperous in this life. I don't know if I'm millionaire is going to fit me.
I'll just put it out there. I'll gladly take $1 million and I want some.
Yeah, me too. I gladly try it. Hey, I'm all up for it. Let's do it. Let's try it, right?
I just want an in-ground swimming pool and some weed.
Do art. I want to make art and music and maybe have some seminars that people can attend, and that would be nice. That would be a nice life.
Money means nothing next to gainful employment and a meaningful
meaningful life. Yeah, I mean, I'm right now. What I'm trying to do for myself and what I'm doing for other people is trying to help them realize that they are way more powerful than we've been trained to believe that we are. And to develop that, because I think that's our way forward. If we're ever going to get out of the traps and tricks, I think we have got to come out of this delusion this heavy delusion that we've been placed under, that we're not powerful.
Most people look at my remote viewing class and think that I just, found remote viewing, but that's not what happened. like I came to a knowing, and I had an epiphany, and I understood that a meaningful life meant that I had to share
Mm-hmm.
and, express some type of benefit to humanity.
Yeah.
You can't just be an observer. You have to benefit humanity in some way.
Yeah, I think I'm doing that to the best of my ability right now, and I think you do it to the best of your ability. And I think if we keep doing that, we're going to get
I
somewhere
get
where we
now.
want to be.
Maybe I can
Well,
do it better.
yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
we could. I was gonna say, I think part of that is also if you have a gift, um, if you choose to use it for good rather than choose it to, that's where capitalism kind of comes into play. If you use it to like just take advantage of other people, because I was thinking about a liar, right? A liar, like a good politician, they do have a gift. They might have a gift to gab. They might be very charismatic.
Mhm.
Look a certain way, and you could choose to use that for good, or you can choose to use that for evil. But
Mm-hmm.
there is also,
There's a double-edged sword in almost everything, right? Like you put out music
Yeah.
that could be for ego, and it could be just to benefit other people. You know, there's
right.
a double-edged sword to
Well,
every.
I feel like you could be for both.
Well, and then you can fool yourself, right? I'm sure Hillary Clinton, if you really sat her down, somewhere in her mind, she, like you were saying earlier about
Hmm?
benevolent killing of people,
Benevolent
like
dictator,
justified.
benevolently
Yeah. Yeah.
justified. Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Or a
boy.
lying preacher, right? He might know he's lying and full of shit, but he's like, hey, I'm 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 saving, I'm
But
helping
I'm
these people.
doing it all for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? Like people can justify the most horrifying things under this
Honor
just
killings. Yeah.
right thing
Yeah.
to do. You know, like
Yeah. Because God willed it. And
the Maoist revolution. My God,
Yeah, you can explain everything away with that one.
billion people killed.
you know what I think? Really, a lot of these people have been taking their own medicine. They've been drinking from their own
Yeah,
toxic well, basically, to the extent that they really start to believe their own blather, right?
they
Some of
do.
these
Oh, they
people
do.
really believe this stuff.
Well, okay. Now, you have to consider this too because we sit in echo chambers, right? They
Mhm,
sit in echo chambers as well,
mhm,
you know? So,
mhm.
what are they being fed and what are we being fed? And
I
that
don't think
itself,
they tell them the truth at all. I don't think they have been told the truth. I think Joe was
well,
very deluded.
they do try to keep us confused. They do
Yeah.
that on an exponential level,
Mhm.
because they have to, because that is much harder to hide.
Yeah.
Truth is much harder to hide than lies for some reason, you know?
Mhm. So, I really think the look on her face when Kami said, "You know what I'm saying," to what was his name? Brett Bear. And he says, "No, I have no idea what you're saying. Can you please explain it to me? I'd love to know." And the look on her face was so, "You know exactly what's going on here," she said. He
Mhm.
said, "No, I don't." And I'm there like, "Oh, wow. She really thinks that everybody is in that bubble of hers." And that's why she doesn't understand. These people don't understand why anybody vote for Trump because they're in this bubble. They're in this bubble and they're really divorced from
Yeah.
a lot of reality. Basically, I mean, some of these people are. When I heard them react the next day, it's obvious that they have never been through what most people have been through, they've had some kind of privilege, and they have no clue what it's like to really try and slug through life.
And I see Indy's point. This is how they're going to try to push civil war. And I think it's right.
Division.
Yeah.
Well, the forces of division. I keep calling them that.
Well, we're bringing up, Indy was right. Where people are like lauding all of these mockery videos of leftists crying.
Yeah.
And, that itself is, hi, Scotty. That itself is going to, gin up division, and they're looking for any point of division they can, pervert. And they're really having a hard time. So
Yeah, because honestly, since 2016, I think we could all probably just agree based on observations, even if it's just online, that this whole the woke left phenomena, it's a lot more tempered today than it was 4 or 5 years ago, I would say. You know what I mean? We were seeing a lot more expressions of the crazy 4 or 5 years ago. So it has kind of naturally.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Andy. I cannot agree with that.
Why? Are you seeing more people walk around with colored hair?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't see that around here. I see a lot less of it. I'm hearing a lot less of it. So I think it's just like the racism thing. I've talked about this multiple times.
Yeah.
In the 90s, racism was on its way out. We were all over it. When 9/11 hit, the black and the white guy was all.
Racism didn't even exist in the 90s.
Yeah, dude, we was getting over
there's
that.
so
Not
many
a
mixed
thing.
families now. There are many mixed families. When you talk about black and white, you're talking about somebody's wife, husband, baby, aunt, mother, whatever. It's not like it was.
No.
So many people are mixed now that it's like you cannot do that anymore.
Yeah, let them finish.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I'm just going to say I've heard in a lot of these videos with these leftists, the ones that they seem to be showing. I just watched a couple people who got compilations, but in those, it would be black. Mostly it would be a black woman, and she would be talking at it from a race angle, like that, is just racist white guys voting for Trump. And it's like that narrative is 2016,
Yeah, that's
this
not
narrative. Yeah, dude, it was clearly
Yeah.
more multiracial support for Trump this go around than 2016.
Yeah.
So they just, this division, dude.
I was just
You know-
agreeing with him, Matt. John. Honestly, I'm agreeing with him on that.
Well, okay. We believe that Trump is sold out. Okay.
I don't.
Well, okay. On a certain level, he's owned by the banks. Let's say.
Most people are, unfortunately.
Okay. So, a lot of people that we see in chat, okay, you can talk to a lot of people in chat, and they will believe that he is an entire sellout. But I do believe that there is the option for him not to be. I believe that there is the option for him to be doing the things he is saying he's going to do.
Yeah, I believe that too. I believe that is a possibility. I am going totally. I made videos about this if you want to know what my opinion is, because I really believe that.
Now, do you believe
we're looking at
man for the human race? Is that what he is promoting? That is what he is verbally promoting. Do you believe it on the reality level of it?
Could you say that again? Because I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Okay. Do you believe Trump is for real in what he's saying?
I think a lot of it is,
That would be
and I have a
too deep
reason
to
for
say.
feeling that way.
Okay. Now, do you believe he is part of the establishment?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, he's
No, I think
definitely
that he is
1,000%.
his
He's in the
only.
fold.
Let me finish,
Uh,
please.
Yeah. Let her finish.
Please let me finish. I think he's so rich that he can be what he wants to be.
Okay.
And I think Elon said it best. He said, "Oh, you think you can bribe me? That's laughable. I have, you can't bribe them. We're very fortunate right now. We're at a point where some of these guys with money don't like what's been happening. I don't think they like it. I know for a fact that Elon is mad. He's pissed. And I think Donald is pissed too. That's why I think he's not bought yet. I think he's pissed. I think both of those guys. And look at who else is pissed. RFK. Very pissed off. Look at what happened to him. Look what happened to Trump. Look at what happened. Look at the kind of shit that they've had to field because of the way that the media has been portraying things and everything, and the way that people try to bribe them. It's like you can't bribe them because they've got money. They can do what they fucking want. I think they're on their own side. I don't have any illusions that they're completely altruistic. But I don't think that they're bought either because they don't need to be. They don't need anybody's money. They've got their money.
I think
They
we
already
are
got it.
sitting. I think we are now sitting at a point of the Titanic. And if you guys know anything about the Titanic and who went down with the Titanic, it was not the Rockefellers. It was not the Rothschilds.
Right.
It was all the other banking families
Yeah.
who
yeah, I
did
A
think
lot
we
of people they wanted to get
not
rid of.
want to go with the Federal Reserve.
Uh-huh. Here we go again. Federal Reserve.
Yeah. So right now we might be at a point where we could take advantage of this.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Everything,
agree.
everything is pushed from the bottom up, not from the top down.
I agree. I think we can take advantage of this gap right here. That is pretty much my point of view. I agree.
So if we start pushing real money, if we start pushing real politics, real voting, we can make a difference.
Yeah.
And what's his face, this shithead, Trump, is actually pointed in that direction.
You
So
know why they
from
hated
the
him?
bottom
Though?
up, from the bottom up, we have to push that. Go ahead.
I will tell you why I think he is not entirely bought out, or why he is not bought out. Like I said, first of all, he's too rich to be bought out. How are they going to do that? He's got all the money. He's got all this money. He's got enough money to wage this war. He's probably the only person who could survive the lawfare that's been leveled at him. Probably one of the very few people, other than Elon, that could survive it.
If I were him, really, if I were him, I would consider money absolutely nothing.
Pretty much.
Nothing. Because he has family support, he has political and social support that he could rely on no matter what.
But here's the other reason I feel this way. Now, I can show my work.
Yep.
I can back up my opinion. He's different because he was going. The reason they really had to get rid of him is because of the spice must flow, and he closed the borders, and he was cracking down on the trafficking rings. And this is something that cannot happen. And we saw this play out in June, right? The
I
spice
have
must
heard
flow, the
that.
chrome must
I've heard-
flow.
Yes. I've heard to the contrary as well. That might be disinformation, but
I don't believe it. He was working on that. As a matter of fact, I remote viewed that. They were working on that. They were working on the cartels. And that's when he came out and said, "Oh, I've made some very important enemies today." And of course, he didn't know how deep this was. He didn't know how. He thought, he's got an ego. Yeah, sure he does. He has an ego. And he thought, I'm going to be fine. Well, you know what? They fired back and they tried to roast his ass, right? Because he was basically cutting into their flow, right? Of both money and chrome. Think of how bad Hollywood had it when the borders were closed. Look at what Hollywood was dying. Did you see what happened to those people? They were looking old. They looked like they were dying. And he shut it down. Oh my God. So I don't think he was really aware of how deep that went. But yeah, then they tried it. They were like, okay, you're public enemy number one. The spice must flow. We got it, Kill Bill, right? But that is one of the reasons I feel that way. Is I know people will say the opposite way. They've got one or two pictures of him with Epstein when Epstein was really young. I
Yeah.
could be at a party with somebody and get my picture taken with some crud like that, and barely know him.
See, not to be. It's. I'm listening to you present all these things, and I have to just be honest. I have to accept a lot of assumptions for this storyline to hold up, and
Okay.
I just know too much. Well, I say I know too much. I've just heard too many people present contradictions
Opposite
to a lot of
claims.
this
Yeah,
that
I
at
know. I have
least
to.
that at least gives a little bit of like I
But-
can't give benefit of the doubt in a lot of these
Like what, though?
assumptions. You know what I mean? Like the Epstein thing is one. There's a lot more to it than just hey, I'm at a party one day and this guy. No, there's connections even with like friends of friends. You know what I mean? We don't.
But that doesn't mean that everybody visited Epstein Island, because if they did, they'd be really worried right now. Because if they were Epstein boys or Diddy boys, they'd be really worried right now.
Well, he did. He bought that Teen USA pageant, and they had some girls that were from that pageant. Said he would come into the dressing room and make them feel uncomfortable.
Who?
Trump.
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah.
Did they have any proof at all?
It's just little stuff like that. I'm not trying. I don't have Trump derangement. I don't hate this. I have no strong feeling.
See, the thing is, do they have any proof at all whatsoever? Any witnesses, or? I mean, are they just wanting to? I mean, I don't think he had anything to do with Stormy Daniels. She's but ugly anyway. He's got a beautiful wife. Why the fuck would he have anything to do with Stormy Daniels?
Well, why would he be paying her any money at all then?
Well,
what I mean?
because that's what millionaires do, just to be out from
Oh
under.
yeah,
the tree.
no, I don't
That
believe
happens.
Stormy Daniels at all, because
I don't believe her.
I was in my 20s. I I hung out with a girl for a little while. We were considering dating, but it didn't happen. But she had engaged with Trump and been offered a apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's what they all do.
Your
We got
girlfriend?
So do you understand that? Like, you were offered an apartment. That means that
Mm-hmm.
I will give you an apartment and I will come by every once in a while and want some,
yeah.
sex.
That's what
Well,
politicians do. That's what all these sports figures are doing when they go
there's
to
a
these
lot of
different
people who
cities.
aren't.
This was not like some hearsay. This is a girl I knew.
No, what I'm saying is that happens with regular guys too.
Oh yeah, well,
Not not even millionaires. That
oh, yeah,
happens.
guys are pretty
I've
dirty.
had offers like that myself from just
Yeah.
guys.
Oh,
So
he's probably got some pretty lewd offers.
And as far as the
yeah,
money goes, we know he's filed bankruptcy before, right? And he got
yeah,
bailed
he
out.
did. He
He got
5
bailed out.
times.
So you owe.
His
He
dad bailed him
owes.
out.
He
Mhm.
owes. You don't get that for free.
Yeah.
So he owes this Adelson $100 million with the Adelsons. Why, you know what I mean? It's just enough for me to say, all right, bro, I see that. And I'm looking at you and I'm watching you stand up there, talk a big game. And if you really listen to enough of his speeches and not just, the ones that they show on CNN, he says a lot of questionable shit. And I'm just saying, bro, all
Oh
this
yeah,
Jewish
he's
prophecy
questionable.
shit. And he's got the Jared Kushner. That's a
I'd say
thing all in
questionable
itself.
shit though.
You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
He's not our savior. I can
no.
guarantee you that.
Oh, I'm not looking at him like that.
I'm not trying to, hide in the bushes over this guy, but I'm just saying you're not gonna rope a dope me with this routine, bro. That's all I'm saying. And I hate to see
Do
other
I think
people.
he is a great guy? Well, do I think that there are some? See, I think him and Elon and RFK, they have their own motives for doing things.
Yeah,
And it's
Elon
not what
again.
people are saying. It's not what people are saying.
Well,
Okay?
okay. Let me lay this out for you. There are deeper technologies that they are trying to implement, haven't worked out so far, and you still have independent thought, and that's a problem.
Well,
Yeah, like
uh,
it's not about pre-crime. It's not about thought crime. Well, it is thought crime, I guess, in their mind.
well, yeah, that would be thought crime. Yeah,
But the
that'd be a very
pre-crime,
Orwellian.
I think, is so they can develop that technology under the guise that they need it for crime prevention. But really, hey, maybe they're just so worried about what people really know, right? And so they need the technology
Yeah.
to know if people know what they've done or not. I'm gonna just say that. That
Mhm.
feels
Well, back in the
like
80s, they worked on suspicious behavior
Yeah.
right.
in movement.
Yeah.
So if you were in the wrong area doing suspicious behavior, they detected that with Doppler radar.
Hmm.
Now they have NexRad and other radar systems. And they're going deeper. They're going real deep.
Hmm.
They're going into the neural net of your brain, is where they're trying to end up. And that is why you end up with those particles sprayed on food and other
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So they're
Oh,
trying to get that in you.
I don't trust Elon 100% either at all. No.
Oh God, no.
Mm-mm.
You know,
No.
Do you think he has a car floating around in orbit up there?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Hell no.
We're both like, who knows?
And look,
Yeah,
when Elon
that could
first
have
came on the
been
scene back in
basically
2010,
it.
2011, I was right front and center. I was like, yeah, this dude rocks.
I don't know.
And over
Mhm.
time, I'm telling you, over time, I started getting a little inkling. I was like, this and that. And I'm like, no, dude's full of
Yeah.
shit.
Elon's on his own side, honey.
Everything is so
He
sad.
always has been.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peter
And
Thiel.
you know what, though? I will tell you right now what's rankling him. He's angry over his son.
Yeah.
Y'all realize that he is angry at the Wokies because to him, they stole his son. They killed him.
Yeah,
The
I don't
Wokie
think.
killed his son because it
What
made him a
Won't
daughter.
talk to him anymore. Won't talk to
Mhm.
him anymore. So he's
what
basically gone.
So
Yeah.
he's
what
got a personal grudge against all this stuff. So yeah,
what if
Um,
is it possible that he's one of these people that doesn't have empathy?
that's a
I
rough one.
I,
Maybe.
I think
I
he
don't
could be
know.
a good candidate for that. And I think the story about his son, I really don't think he cares. If he really cared about his kids that much, uh,
He's
and he's running
autistic. I know
5
that.
businesses, you got billions and billions of dollars. Why are you still trying to fucking send rockets to Mars? That's some childish ass shit. You see, I mean, if I got $1 billion, I don't care what. I don't care if I'm a world class musician. I'm saying,
Yeah,
hey, bro, I'm
I'm not
retiring. I'm
sure
going to
why
sit by my
that.
pool.
What would you
So
do? What would you do with $1 billion? 100 billion? A trillion? What would you do with $1 trillion?
honestly, I can honestly say this: I'd put 10 or 20 million, enough to where I wouldn't have to worry about it. And maybe if I had kids, it'd be enough for them to have a good life. The rest of it, I would do some shit like I'd probably start music programs for the kids. I would do that kind of shit. Why wouldn't you? They ain't none of them fucking doing it. None of them.
Too small scale. Too small scale.
But I'm just saying, I would give the rest would be helping the fucking world. I would build aquaponics farms in Africa
Okay.
and dig water wells.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, yeah. That I would dump all of it. They don't want to do that shit. They want to
Yeah,
make
that
GMO
sort of thing.
mosquitoes.
You know what? I want to build eco villages myself. I I want to build sustainable eco villages where people can just live in peace and not have to pay their off grid places with, you know, with
Yeah,
the
you know what?
Tartarian energy
Science right
systems
now
and
is geared toward bridges to nowhere, right? Whereas something as simple as, and I'm sorry, D, I'm going to say this: just a common person can come up with an average good idea, you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
you know, something that would, you know, um, you know, require investment of millions of dollars, but would be the most sensible thing to invest in.
Mhm.
But they don't.
Yeah, and can I speak on that for a second? What you just said there about ordinary people can have great ideas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was anybody else? Um, did anybody else get a weird feeling when Trump was giving his victory speech the other night, and he was talking about Elon Musk being a genius,
Hi,
and
Paul.
then he said we don't have a lot of geniuses anymore. Now I know we can look at that and say, nah, he's just making a funny fucking joke.
That's bullshit.
But any leader of mine is going to be telling everybody, you have the fucking power to be a genius. What's your fucking gift and talent? This motherfucker's sitting up there speaking exactly. If he's so smart, then he's saying some dumb shit. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Well, he's just making a joke. Well, it's not a time to joke right now. I'll say that. You know what I mean?
Most of us know that modern science is all bullshit.
Yeah. There's a lot of fuckery.
Mhm.
You know, that we have to re-examine what is going on with energy and magnetics and how to extract energy. We're not looking at it in the right way at all. And
Well,
that's on
I
purpose.
I do have to say though that he is right in a way because the way that things were written at the founding of our country was at a much higher level, and the books that people were reading were at a much higher level than what we've got now. And that is
Right.
a fact.
Yeah,
People were much
you-
smarter, their brains worked much better because they weren't being poisoned
yeah,
as much.
yeah. We're
So,
being
in a way, he's actually telling the truth. I don't know.
No. I'm gonna say this. I'm a fucking genius, and I think he's stupid for saying that. So
Okay,
if
I'm a fucking
he
genius too, though.
right, and he
But
should respect me and you for saying that statement. He would say, "You're right."
there are
Maybe,
so
you
many
know what I mean?
super geniuses out there right now. There's probably super geniuses in the chat.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I can tell you the problem um, is what they're doing to us because we are all super geniuses.
Oh yeah, I mean,
All of us.
but here's what something that Paul says. Okay, he says somebody handed him a book and said, "Tell me what you think about this book. What age range would you think this book would be for?" And he would say, and he looked at the book and he read a few passages. You know, she just showed him a few passages. He said, "Well, this would be like something like a college, you know, like this would have to be at least college level. This would have to be, you know, somebody who's getting a degree, right?"
Sure.
And she showed him the cover of the book, and it was a primary school book from long ago.
Yeah.
Their level of reading was way higher. Okay?
Well,
Their
yeah.
level of thinking was way higher. Okay?
Well, we
They
talked
weren't
about that the other day
poisoned.
with math and like the new ways that they're teaching math, and I say it's on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on
yeah,
purpose.
to fuck your brain up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I highlighted that in my last show on how they changed the math to from a number based to a stroke based, a check mark system, basically, where they put a
And
bunch
Common
check marks.
Core is driving everybody crazy. It's like, oh yeah,
And then that's entirely to confuse the math between generations because that causes conflict.
yeah. Then you can't sit there and do homework, help your kid with their homework because you got no clue. What the hell?
No, because you have to take a basic addition, uh, computation, and then convert it to stroke-based computation, and then convert it back to number-based computation.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes it easier for AI to outdo human thinking once you've brought the level of human thinking down.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
it's a
That I
multi-front
can
attack.
agree with. Yeah.
We have to look at everything as fucking just layers of agenda, and it really is.
Yeah. The division that I was taught in school was different than how my father was taught, and that caused a lot of friction, right? So
Yeah.
and they did that over and over again every 20 to 40 years, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
They revamped the math.
Made sure that we couldn't help each other.
Yeah. So that it
Mhm.
was confusing to the next generation,
Mm-hmm.
to the older generation. They couldn't get it. Why are you doing this?
Yes, the generation gap was contrived and engineered. I believe. Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, what's weird about that is I got along perfectly with my oldest elders. It was the
Mhm.
boomer generation, and even my mom to some degree, some of the things that her generation but the great grandparents from the Great Depression days, I could talk to them for hours. And we
Yep.
agree on every. So it's yeah.
Yep. My grandma was from the Depression era. They were real pragmatic. They were way more logical. They were way more real. They had to deal with real life a lot more. And yeah, I absolutely could talk to my grandma more than I could talk to my parents.
And the boomers, we talk about the generations now who are like the millennials or whatever, who came in with the internet as a part of their whole life. Well, think about the television in people's homes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the 50s after the war and shit. I mean, of course that's going to make people believe that.
I've got to cut it off, guys.
All right.
Thank you for coming up.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. And thank you for letting me say my piece, even though I know I go against what a lot of people say, but I was right
Well,
about the
we
election.
have to look at every side of this. I am hopeful myself. I think we can take this to a good way. Hi, Paula.
Well, I was right about the election results again.
Yeah.
I was right again. I have been right since the early 90s every single time.
All right.
So, it's like I got to trust myself here.
We'll see how this
I'm
goes.
feeling hopeful.
We'll
So
just
that's my opinion. I'm feeling
in a
hopeful,
couple days.
but I'm not stupid either.
Yeah. No.
And
So
agree with a lot of things you guys say. Okay, love you. Thank you.
much love. All right, guys. Have a good night. Until next time, we'll see you later.